mates, welcome on board the Disney Fantasy. We are here for the 7-night inaugural sailing to the brand new Disney Cruise Line private destination, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. So if you're interested in seeing lots of content from that, our daily videos, our room tour, and the full and complete tour of Lookout Key, be sure to check out all the videos in our Lookout Key sailing playlist. But for today's video, I'm going to take you around and give you a full and complete ship tour of the Disney Fantasy. We're going to see all of the public areas on board, and we're going to go deck by deck. So let's head down to deck number 1, and we'll work our way back up. So our tour of the Disney Fantasy begins right now. All right, we begin our tour on deck number 1 here at the forward elevators and stairs. You can see 3 elevators and stair bays on this ship. We have forward, midship, and aft. And you can see here on deck 1 that aft and midship is just in for embarkation, disembarkation, and ports. Here at the forward elevators and stairs, though, we do have the health center. Hours of operation posted on the digital display board, and you can follow the signs to get to the health center, which is on the port side of the ship. So just follow those and you can get right to it. And that's it for deck number 1. We're heading up to 2. Okay, deck number 2 now, and we can look here at our map, see we're at the forward elevators and stairs. Only thing in this area are staterooms and a laundry area. So we need to head to the midship elevators and stairs, and that's where we'll find the entrance to a couple of items. And as I make my way back down the hallway, I will point out for this ship, navigational aid can be found in the hallways. You'll find the map here of the globe on all the carpeting in the stateroom hallways. So if you need to head forward, you want to orient yourself with the map and head north. If you need to head midship or aft, you want to head south on the map. And if you don't know if you're starboard or port on that point in time, look at the stateroom door hangers. If it's a seahorse or a starfish, those start with S, you're on the starboard side. If it's a fish that has 4 letters like the word port or left, you're on the port side. All right, as you can see, we are now at the midship elevators and stairs. So we're gonna turn towards the aft section here. We will find the Vista Gallery, where they'll have various pieces of art for sale. So they have them hung up here with the names, the artists, and the prices on the little placards. And then at the end of the hallway here, we find the entrance to the Enchanted Garden Restaurant. Now this is the first of 3 dining rooms here on the Disney Fantasy, and you will rotate between all 3 of them so that you'll get to experience them. This one is based on French gardens, and it's enchanted because it turns from day to night as you dine, and the flowers open up and bloom. And as we get ready to head up to deck number 3, I did want to point out that right off this hallway here, there is this lovely staircase that will take you right up to deck 3 into the atrium area. We'll get to that in just a bit. So the first thing we're going to find is the Midship Detective Agency desk. Now you'll see the sign here. They have another office located on deck 5 midship, so I'll explain how this works once we get up there, but know that there is a section here as well. And we have now covered deck 2. Deck 3's up. Deck 3 now, and we find ourselves at the midship elevators and stairs, so we're going to have to make a decision here of which way we're going to go, and it's kind of going to end up being a circle. So I'm actually going to come over here to the starboard side, and we're going to turn and head forward. And this is where our little circle area will begin, and this is the main shopping area on board. So you can find this little digital display. It'll have all the names of the shops and their hours of operation for that day. They're currently closed because we are in port, but they have these lovely glass windows so you can see inside. This one is Sea Treasures. It's going to have a lot of Disney merchandise, Disney Cruise Line merchandise, mostly attire, but they do have other things as well. Now on the perimeter on the starboard side, you're going to find all the jewelry shops, all the big money items, necklaces, watches, rings, whatever it might be. Over here, Diamonds and Wishes, it's more of the same. More jewelry, bags, and accessory items. Now, Sea Treasures that we just saw continues all the way around here. It's in the middle section and all the way over here on the port side. So that's the same shop all the way here in the center area. And over here on the port side, we see Mickey's Mainsail, and this is one continuous shop. The entire span here, it goes right through. It's open on the inside, so you can walk all the way. And this is a lot of Disney merchandise, Disney Cruise Line specific merchandise in here. A lot of t-shirts, a lot of toys, magnets, mugs, knives from Animator's Palette that are shaped like a paintbrush, all kinds of fun stuff in there. This is also the spot where they will usually have specialty merchandise. So if you're on a Halloween sailing or a very maritime sailing, Pixar, something like that, they will sell that merchandise in here typically. As we turn and head forward, we see the lovely sign there of Mr. Walt Disney welcoming us into the Walt Disney Theater area. So we can go port or starboard here. And both sides are going to have the same thing, an entrance into the theater, which is closed right now, but we did go in the other night. And this is where you will come for all of your main Broadway-style shows. Currently on this ship, that would include Believe, Aladdin, and Frozen. You can also see variety acts like magician or juggler, different things. Sometimes they'll show movies in there as well. Now again, regardless of whether you're on the starboard side or on the port side, you will find Preludes here, which is a concession stand. So they will sell popcorn, sodas for an additional cost. Sodas typically included in Disney Cruise Line if you get it at a restaurant or up on the pool deck. If you buy it here or at a bar, it's going to come in a can. It's going to cost additional. You'll also be able to buy souvenir popcorn buckets here as well. Okay, so coming back out of our circle, I'm on the port side now. We see Mickey's Mainsail again, that one big shop that just continues all along that side. And we are now heading towards midship. So we're gonna have to do a little ping pong action right here because there's something on each side, and then we'll get to the main action in the middle. So here on the port side, we find Bon Voyage. This is a bar, so you can come and get your special drinks here. And as I cut through the elevators and stairwell area here in the middle of the ship, coming over to the starboard side, we'll find guest services open 24 hours a day. So if you're having any issues, you have any questions you need addressed, you need a map, you need to make a payment for something, whatever it might be, this is where you will come. And just across from guest services, you will find the main Disney Vacation Club desk. So if you're a Disney Vacation Club member already, you want to stop in and say hello, they might have a little gift for you. If you're interested in Disney Vacation Club, which we are members of and we highly recommend, come and speak to them here. They can set you up with some information, maybe even a tour at some point, and get you on your way with that. And now we are ready to enter the main atrium area. This is the main lobby, the main gathering point for the Disney Fantasy. You see the lovely peacock carpet on the floor there. Mademoiselle Minnie Mouse is this atrium statue on this ship, and then up above, this fantastic colorful peacock chandelier. You're going to find all kinds of Disney details here. All the gold placards all around all have Disney characters hidden inside of them. Even if you look here, the glass elevators that go up and down, you'll find peacock feathers, the actual peacock itself, and a few hidden Mickeys in there as well. Now over here on the starboard side, these doors, this is where you will actually enter when you first board the Disney Fantasy, and they say, please welcome aboard the Hoffman family, or whatever your family's name is. Get this grand reception as you enter. I love that they still do that. It's such a crucial part of every Disney cruise. It means so much to everyone to get that grand welcome, that grand announcement. So this is where that will take place. Now during your sailing at night, usually in the evening, they will have character photo ops there as well. And over in this section, which kind of just looks like a dead zone, they kind of leave this open because at night they will set up the different backdrops and have characters and different photo opportunities over here as well. Now just behind Mademoiselle Minnie Mouse here, we see the piano. So they will have live entertainment various points throughout the day. Sometimes it's piano, sometimes it's string, singing, all kinds of different things will happen there. Now just beyond that, we will find our second of the three main dining restaurants, which is Royal Court. And this is themed after royalty, as the name would suggest. Look at the chandelier outside with the crowns on it, and you're going to find all kinds of princes, princesses mainly. Got the Cinderella carriage there on the doorway. And here when we go inside, we can see the murals, the tile mosaics, the beautiful chandeliers all throughout. So this is the most regal and maybe quote-unquote fancy of the three restaurants. Now at this point of the atrium, on the starboard side, it dead ends at that photo opportunity. So if you want to continue aft, you have to head over here to the port side. Also want to point out there is that stairwell down to Enchanted Garden that we saw earlier. They're going to have a lot of seating over here on the port side as well, next to the Bon Voyage bar. And then you're going to have to go up here. They have a couple little stairs or a ramp, should you choose. Some lovely artwork, and then this is going to become what I call the porthole window hallway. You're going to have these massive porthole windows all the way down this very lengthy hallway with some comfortable cushions in them so you can sit. It makes for a great photo opportunity, so we're going to head all the way down now. And a little less than halfway down the hall, we will find the secondary entrance to Royal Court. So you are welcome to enter from the main area in the atrium or here at the secondary entrance. And as we arrive to the end of the hallway, we see a little bit of transition and styling. We see the film reel going along there, and the sign beckoning us to our final of the main restaurant's Animator's Palette. We look down here on the floor, we see the pencils and the paintbrushes. Of course, with the name too, we can put together that this restaurant is all about the art of animation. So there's going to do some fun stuff inside here on one night of your cruise. Crush from Finding Nemo will come around and talk to everyone. On another night, you might be able to draw your own cartoon character and have it come to life on all the screens. And they'll have all these maquettes and little statues, art pieces all throughout the restaurant. And you see here the pencils and the paint brushes making up the columns, the fiber optic lighting, the palettes on the ceiling that will light up various colors, and all throughout the restaurant will change colors as well. That's where you'll see Crush and your cartoon characters on all those screens throughout the restaurant. And I love the Mickey chairs. Now as you pass Animator's Palette, you'll find a set of restrooms, and then it'll wind around here to the Deck 3 aft elevators and stairs. And as we look at our map here, we find that that is the end of Deck 3, Animator's Palette right there on the back. So we saw that, the Royal Court Restaurant, there's the atrium with stuff on the both sides, the shopping areas, and the Walt Disney Theater. So we've seen all of Deck 3, and we can now go to Deck 4. All right, Deck number 4 now, and we are in the aft section, which is going to be the main adults area on board, Europa. And we see it lit up there welcoming us in. So this area is going to be themed after areas in Europe. Go figure, with Ooh La La, Skyline, O'Gill's Pub, La Piazza, and the Tube. Now I said it's an adults area. At night, that is the case. This will be the adults entertainment area, the late night area, the club atmosphere area, the bar area, all of those things. Now during the day, they will have various activities, and those will be for all ages. Now we can either go starboard or port here. I'm gonna kick over starboard, and they do have the signs here to help keep you oriented. So the first thing we're gonna see here is the Tube. Now this is based on the Tube in London Underground, the subway system there, and they're gonna have various activities throughout the day. It could be karaoke, drawing parties, they'll have all those listed right here, and then at night it is a club atmosphere. So as we get ready to enter the area here, we gotta go across this bridge. We see the Big Ben facade there on the side, and then we actually arrive into the main area. So we see the subway style seating in here with the handrails and the poles, all the stools, and then the carpet is gonna have the map listed out for the subway system. We have the bar centrally located, the main stage area there in the middle, and tons of seating throughout. We have the colorful lights up there, red, white, and blue, baby, and the red telephone booths up there on the stage. Of course, red, white, and blue for the UK, not for America in this case. So, and you can also go right over there into the Skyline Lounge, but we'll actually see another entrance for that in just a minute. And actually, as we kick over here to the port side, we will find that main entrance to the Skyline Lounge. And here is a look inside the Skyline Lounge. Now, the main feature of this bar is that they have these digital displays up here that show various cityscapes, and it will change as you sip on your drink, so you get to experience areas around the world. The bar is centrally located and seating all throughout. As we head forward a little bit here on the port side, we're gonna kind of run into a dead end a little bit here, and we're gonna have to circle back around, but I'll do my best to explain. Now, notice these doors here. You can actually head outside in this area, and this will take you to what we call the promenade deck, which is going to be open air. It's a good place to have a walk, go for a jog, you can get some running in, play some shuffleboard. Lifeboat stations are out here as well. If you want to get a view of the port you're in or out at sea, you can do all of that here on this deck. Now once back inside, we will find the entrance to O'Gill's Pub, and as you can tell by the decor here, this is an Irish style pub, dark woods, sports on the TV, lots of fun stuff happening in there. And here we go inside, got the sports on TV like I mentioned, dark woods, bar in the middle here, and the big screen on the other side. So here's kind of a look at our map to help us keep oriented. We started there at the elevators and stairs. Here's the entrance to the Tube, and it comprises that whole area. That secondary entrance is the Skyline Lounge. We went through the main entrance there, and then over there you can go outside or through O'Gill's Pub. And now we're over here on the starboard side, where you can also go outside if you wish. And we see the entrance to the Tube there, and you start to find this very rock, cliffy, kind of Tatooine looking area. You'll wind your way through past the restrooms. And now we will start to enter into the La Piazza area. So you can see the bar there in the center. Looks like a carousel, masquerade type decorations all throughout. Now just before you go into the La Piazza area, over here to the side is the very hard to see, a little indiscreet there, entrance to Ooh La La, the champagne bar. So you see all the decor there with the curtains and the fancy style seating, softer colors all throughout, and the bar over there on the side. Now we see all the names of the lounges here, and we see some porthole windows, and we transition back to the standard Disney theming as we exit the Europa area. So we are on the port side now, and we are heading forward here, and the first thing we'll find is the D Lounge. Now this is the main family lounge space on board. They will have all kinds of activities in here, including family karaoke, maybe some character opportunities, DVC presentations, all kinds of stuff. So just check your personal navigator for those times. But they have the stage there in the middle, all the seating around. There is a bar space in the back and porthole windows over on the side. And they do have the sign here posted outside with all of the times as well. As we proceed forward, the next thing we'll find is Carriage Jewels. This is another jewelry store on board. Maybe a little bit higher end kind of stuff inside there. And past that, we will enter into Shutters. This is where you can purchase all of your professional photos that you've had taken on board. So they have all the different kiosks set up here. You can just tap your Key to the World card or your Disney Plus band and pull up your account, view your photos, and purchase them right there. There's also a thing where you can scan a QR code on your mobile device and look and purchase photos there as well, while you're on board only. Very important to remember. And if you need assistance, they do have a help desk here in the middle. And we find ourselves back in the atrium area here. Now, of course, we saw the main area down on deck 3. Now we're on deck 4, and we'll also continue on up to deck 5. So 3 decks comprising the atrium here. I'm going to kick over here to the starboard side because there's actually a little thing to see. In the middle, there's another entrance into Carriage Jewels. And over on the starboard side, we will find the Vista Cafe. Now, they'll have a few pastries here that they will serve to you throughout the day, different offerings, and then they have a specialty coffee bar here as well. And there's an entire seating area here, tables, chairs, couches, lots of comfy areas. And next to that, you will find the port shopping desk here. So if you have any questions about shopping in the ports, you can speak with the person there. And there's also a desk here telling you how to book your next sailing. Scan this QR code or go right into the Disney Cruise Line mobile app, and there will be a place where you can pay a deposit to get a 10% discount on your next sailing. And you don't even have to choose what sailing it is right away. You can assign it later on. We can have it sent to us as your travel agents, and we can get that set up for you. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. You can do it right through the app. It's super easy to do. And across from that, there's a secondary Disney Vacation Club desk here, a little podium with some information. But as you can see, it says it's now located on deck 3, midship across from guest services. So this is where they used to be located. They've kind of left some information here, but if you want to speak to someone, you want to head down to that area we saw on deck 3. All right, so checking in on our map here, we saw Europa, all of those clubs and areas on the back there. We can see it says jogging track on that promenade deck that we talked about where you can go outside. D Lounge, Carriage Jewels, and once we proceed past the atrium area, you can go on either side of the ship if you're outside on the jogging track, but if you want to proceed forward on the interior, we need to kick over here to the port side, so that's what we're going to do now. And the first thing we will find is the Buena Vista Theater. Now this is the actual movie theater on board, and they will run first-run movies here. Disney movies, all kinds of stuff, old classics, new feature films. You never know what you're going to get, so again, check that personal navigator to see what they're going to have there. But there it is, a full-size movie theater screen and a whole seating area. It is a regular-size movie theater on board a cruise ship. And just outside the Buena Vista Theater, they have this digital display board that tells what they are now showing. And it's not now, like right at this instant, but what will be shown throughout your cruise. So you can also check here for those times and information as well. 2 entrances to the Buena Vista Theater, and right in the middle of them is the concession stand. So you can purchase popcorn, candy, sodas, and even some of those souvenir popcorn buckets, mugs, straws, things like that. Now as we arrive all the way forward here on deck 4, we will find the upper deck entrance to the Walt Disney Theater. So you could enter on deck 3 or here on deck 4, and this will be either port or starboard side. And you can also exit outside to that promenade deck once again if you want to go out there. That is also starboard or port side. And now I've actually come outside here on the promenade deck, and I'm going to head all the way forward because I need to show you the entrance to Vibe, the Teens Club. Now here forward on the starboard side, we will also find a service animal relief area, so feel free to bring your pal here if they need to relieve themselves. And now once we get to the very forward part here, it kind of dead ends and turns to go over to the port side. And once on the port side, the promenade deck turns and continues on back. But we're here for this stairwell that says Vibe, so we're gonna head right up to find the entrance to that. Right when we get to the top, you'll find the entrance and you'll find the video board here with the upcoming activities and the hours of operation for that day. You have the cool artwork posted as you come in, but the really cool part is the rainbow light tunnel. What is this? Epcot in the 80s? This is amazing. And then when we come in, we'll see they have some arts and crafts set up here, different tables and benches for them to relax at. Looks like even a little juice bar over there in the corner. In the front center area here, big movie screen, lots of comfy seating on the floor as well as around. They even have a little stage there in case they want to do some activities for that. And along the back wall, they have these little cool ports here where you can come in. They have the chairs right outside, but then this is actually cushioned. You can lay in here. They have USB chargers, charge your device, and they also have video games here with the TV mounted right there on the inside. Super cool. Over here we have a room dedicated to gaming of all sorts. We have foosball tables, 2 of them here with seating all the way around. Movie screen over there. They have big screen here which currently has video games on it. And then they're going to have another area for video games here with some comfortable seating. Looks like got the Wii set up in there, which is super awesome. There's a Guitar Hero arcade machine in here, though it doesn't look like it's currently operating. And then a little sound booth area here. I guess they might do some performances or things like that. Maybe have a dance disco at times with the disco mirror ball up there. And just off of the main area here, there's actually a door where you can head outside. There's an outdoor area just for the teenagers here. As we come out, we'll see that they have tables and chairs, sun loungers throughout, and then there's even like a small pool with a couple hot tubs on either side there. Loungers continue all around, foosball table outside here as well. Little play area there in the middle for activities, and then it's open air up above right here on the very forward part of the ship, all for the teens here at Vibe. Now don't worry, I know that was a stairwell up to Vibe. If there's in need of an accessible entrance, you can also do that via deck 5, and I'll show you where that's at. Once we get up there, that is. But that's going to be up next because checking in with our map, we have completed deck number 4, so let's go on up to 5. Deck number 5, we are at the forward elevators and stairs, and that accessible entrance for Vibe is going to be located right here. So you want to go down the stateroom hallway, and it'll take you over to that, and you can see that outdoor area for Vibe that we saw there on the deck map. So what we're going to do now is we're going to turn, come over to the port side, because you can't do it on the starboard side. We're going to do it on the port side, come over, and we'll head back. And as we get into the stateroom hallway, we can see the sign here says Vibe accessible entrance to the right forward. So that's where you'll go. We're going to turn left and head aft. First things first, we will find the upper deck entrance to the Buena Vista Theater, so you can either enter on deck 4 like we saw before, or here on deck 5. And as we continue forward here, or aft I should say, on deck number 5, we'll enter back into the atrium area. So again, all the way down, open air, those 3 decks. If we turn over here on the port side though, we will find Port Adventures, which is appropriate, and this is where you will come to book your shore excursions. Disney Cruise Line refers to them as Port Adventures. Now we do really strongly recommend booking those in advance of your cruise, but if for some reason you weren't able to, or you have a question or something, visit them here during their hours of operation and they will be able to assist you. Now I've kicked over to the starboard side here on deck 5, and we will find the entrance to the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Now this is an additional cost area, but you can dress up your prince or princess as a pirate, as royalty, whatever they have going on in there. They have costumes, makeup, hair. They'll do the full experience to completely transform them. Now over on the starboard side where the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is, it dead ends once again. So if you want to continue aft here on deck 5, you'll need to come over here to the port side where you continue on down the hallway. As we continue down the hallway here again on the port side, we'll find the entrance to It's a Small World Nursery. So if you need the nursery services, this is where those will be located. You see they have the little Small World decorations inside. Past the nursery, we will find the entrance to the Disney Oceaneer Club and Oceaneer Lab. Now this is the kids club area on board, and in our opinion, it is far and away the best kids club at sea. Now right now it is just for kids, but on boarding day, they do have an open house where everyone is welcome to come in. So we took advantage of that and filmed a tour of that area on boarding day. So we'll put that in right now. So we will find the entrance here to the Oceaneer Lab and the Oceaneers Club. They're going to be put together into one big stretch here. Right when you come in, they do have the hand washing stations. Put your hands in, it automatically does the car wash there and gets you all cleaned up and ready for play. And then you can head into the main area here. So they have the big game display floor here for the activities, group activities on the interactive floor there in the middle. And then around the perimeter, they have different areas. So they have the Pirates Cove area, designated nautically and piratey, where they're doing some arts and crafts inside there. This big red curtain, I believe they do have a screen behind it. Sometimes they'll be able to show some different things on that. Then we have a room that is the craft studio, so they're going to have some art and craft spaces inside of here as well. Next to the interactive game floor in the middle, they also have some tables for games and some interactive touch-top table games as well. Over across on the other side, they have Animator's Studio, where you can do some more arts and crafts. Looks like they have some digital displays of art there and some maquettes and paints all around. In the middle, we have the Explorer's Room, where you can pilot your own version, their virtual version of the Disney Fantasy, using the ship's wheel and the levers and the buttons there. And lastly, back over here by the entrance, we have the Media Lounge with the comfy chairs, the beanbag pillows, little stools, and the television showing various movies. And now we'll proceed in the back wheelhouse area, where they have all the seating down here, all of the screens going across playing the movies, and then they'll have another hand washing station and restrooms over to the side. And here along the starboard side, we'll find this hallway that connects the two areas. You can see that they have all these tables set up in here with the different stool seating for all kinds of activities, and they have porthole windows here as well, so the kids will be able to look outside. And here at the other end of the hallway, we'll enter into the actual Oceaneers Club area, which also has restrooms and hand washing stations, and it's going to have all kind of activity spaces too. Let's turn and head into one of the most popular areas here, which is themed after the Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. See all the little buttons there, all the little touchscreen areas, little holograms and things like that. They have little seated areas over here where you can pilot the spacecraft yourself, which is super cool. Nice theming all the way around, lights, sounds, vibrations, super fun in this area. Next to that, we'll find a Pixie Hollow themed area. Of course, Tinkerbell and the fairies with Pixie Hollow. Now they have a big screen in here playing movies as well, and then they'll have little arts and crafts distributed throughout the area the kids can work on. Movie screen over here too, and then all the theming of the forest and the Pixie Hollow and the fairies hidden throughout. Now the central area of the Oceaneers Club has a big dance floor, virtual game floor, just like we saw over there in the Oceaneers Lab. They have the curtain stage area there off to the side as well, and they even have these like little lights hidden in the ceiling of the different characters and shapes. Now we're gonna head into Superhero Academy, Marvel Superhero Academy, and I think the name pretty much gives away what this is themed after, but there'll be various activities in here. There's little play games they can do with movement on the screens here when they have that set up, and they'll also do character meet and greets inside of this area. Now there's also an entrance to this area with the hand washing stations and check-in stations as well. And now we'll go into the last spot, which is my favorite spot of the entire area, Andy's room. Right when we come in, got the RC car photo opportunity right there. Got Ham, Mr. Potato Head. There's a Slinky Dog bench, the TV playing the Toy Story movies, interactive art, Rex busting through the jail back there, Buzz Lightyear poster on the wall, all kinds of fun stuff in here, including the Mickey Mouse watch and the green alien little block seats and the fun Woody's Roundup rug. Now back over here on the port side next to Port Adventures, we will find the Midship Detective Agency. And remember, I showed you the first desk on Deck 2 Midship next to Enchanted Garden, but here on Deck 5 we will find the other desk, because this is an interactive game that you can play, and it's actually really fun for kids and kids at heart. Any and all ages will enjoy this, and is based around the Muppets. The Muppets will actually help you solve a mystery, as will Mickey, of course. He's got to be involved on everything. So you'll come up here, you'll touch the screen, you'll grab a map, you'll grab a pencil, and they actually have two different games that you can do. So you can see this is kind of more of the Disney Classic Characters one, and then this is the Muppets one. So two different games that you'll do. You'll grab a badge there, and it's very interactive. You'll go around the ship, and there'll be interactive pieces of art located all throughout, and you will actually go up to those and interact with them using your badge there to help solve a mystery. It's kind of like Clue, kind of like a whodunit kind of thing, but you know, with a Disney twist on it. Super fun, completely free, highly recommend checking it out. As we get ready to wrap up here on Deck 5, I wanted to point out those artwork pieces there and this little symbol on the ground. Whenever you see that, that is for the Midship Detective Agency game. So you can actually come up, step on them, and the art will come to life and begin to interact, and then you'll use your badge to help solve the mystery. There we go. Now it's interacting. Super cool. And now that we have wrapped up the kids area of the Midship Detective Agency, we have finished deck number 5. Let's continue to 6. Deck number 6 now, and it's just staterooms. Nothing to see here. We're going on to 7. So I make my way up to deck 7. I want to point out some of my favorite underrated things about Disney Cruise Line. First of all of the art throughout the hallways and the stairwells. Every level of the stairwell will have various art pieces throughout it. They also play music all throughout the ship. Typically it's Disney music, but if you're in a Caribbean port, you might have some Caribbean reggae or something like that. Jimmy Buffett, Pirate Night, they'll play sea shanties. It's a really nice small feature, but it really does make a big difference. Deck number 7 now, and once again, just staterooms. Going to 8. Deck number 8, the Ocho, also just staterooms. 9's up. Deck number 9, and once again, just staterooms. Going to 10. Deck number 10 now, and once again, just staterooms, but this will be the end of that fun. Fun for me, not maybe as fun for you. We're going on to deck 11, and there's a ton of stuff to see there. All right, deck 11 now, and I'm using the directory instead of the map because this area is completely different. Say hello to Nigel. He welcomes us in. We see the white wood, all the beach theming throughout because we are actually arrived at the Cabanas area. This is the main buffet area on board. So yes, Cabanas, the buffet, of course included with your cruise fare, but I do like to point out this artwork. They have sand castles representing the castles of the various Disney parks throughout the world, and they also have clocks on the wall representing the times at those various parks. And then one of my favorite art pieces in the entire area, the tile mosaic with all the Finding Nemo characters hidden throughout there. And then I have to point out, they do have the straw huts throughout, all the colorful nautical colors, the wooden posts, but I gotta point out the mine birds up top. Now, like most buffets, they're going to be set up to where the food is going to be on the inside and the seating is going to be on the outside, on the perimeter. And they will have the floor-to-ceiling windows all the way around the perimeter as well. And then we have beverage stations located kind of over to the outside area as well, where you can get your complimentary soda, juices in the morning, coffee, tea, things like that. Now, typically both sides are going to just be a mirror image of each other, whether you're on the port or starboard side. They might have one side open like they do right now, but they're both going to offer the food, same food and different things like that, seating throughout. When you come on the back here, you'll have additional seating with the floor-to-ceiling windows, but you can also go outside, open air, but it is covered, open air, to the outside area, and there's a very large seating section out there as well. And then you do have your bar back here in the middle. Hello, hello. So we started on the starboard side, now we're on the port side, and again you can see that it's pretty much the same setup. Seating on the outside with the windows, food service stations on the inside. Now in Disney Cruise Line, Cabanas is typically open for breakfast and lunch. They do not usually do dinner, so just keep that in mind. And as we exit Cabanas, we will actually come outside, and we are now on the main pool deck. So I'll go ahead and point out that you're going to have seating all throughout the pool deck area, tables and chairs over to the sides with the big panoramic windows. You'll also have the complimentary beverage stations located in the middle where you can get your sodas, coffees, teas, things like that. Now we're going to have to ping pong a little bit here, back and forth, but the first thing I want to show right when we come out is Nemo's Reef, open 9 to 6 at least for today. No lifeguard on duty, but this is a small kids water play area themed after Finding Nemo, so it's soft padded, there's sprayer jets, there's characters, lots of fun. And now up here in the middle is a great spot to get a view of the pool deck. I want to point out on Disney Cruise Line, they have multiple pools here, and they can actually cover them up. They can actually close them off and make it hard floor, which they will do for sail away parties, pirate night, firework parties, things like that. Right now they have this one open as a pool, the one in the front's open as a pool, and then they have lounge chair seating in the middle. And then up there on the funnel, they have what we call Funnel Vision, where they will show various movies, Disney movies like Alice in Wonderland's on right now, or they'll have things about that are related to the activities going on, again, like the sail away party, the pirate party, whatever it might be. So this is kind of just the general pool deck area. It's pretty much the same on both sides. Now over here on the right, we will find the main Mickey slide. You see the Sorcerer Mickey hand coming up there, holding it up, and it's just an open air little body slide. And Nemo's Reef play area does continue over here as well, so it's available on both sides as well in the middle. And here are the rules and restrictions for the Mickey slide. It's intended for ages 4 through 14. You must be at least 38 inches, but you cannot be over 64 inches. And they do have the height measure right there and the minimum one right there. So be sure you follow those rules. Now, I'm over on the starboard side. I'm actually heading back aft where we just came from. We see the entrance to Cabanas there right in front of us, but there's actually something to show here over on the side, which is Sweet on You. So as you can see, Sweet On You is themed after those new Mickey shorts, which everyone seems to love. Or hate. Maybe a little polar opposite there on the feelings. But Sweet On You is serving up specialty ice creams and sorbets at an additional cost. You can see they have even some flavored cones there. And here's the different sizes, gelato, the different scoops, how much they cost. You can get them in souvenir serving areas as well. And they have all kinds of different flavors, specialty flavors available. Standard waffle cones, here's the ice cream cups. You can get all of that kind of different stuff. And then they have a full toppings bar as well with a variety of toppings to put on your specialty ice cream. Over on this side is the pastry and bakery areas, so cupcakes, brownies, macarons, all kinds of fun stuff. They really do a great job decorating these cupcakes. And if you're on a themed sailing, like again, a Halloween, a Very Merry Time, Marvel, Pixar, whatever, they usually have specialty baked goods here that follow those themes. They also have prepackaged candy for sale in here, like lollipops and rock candy, different things like that. They'll also sell some special pretzels, chocolate-covered pretzels, and all the favorites, Mickey popcorn. And then you're actually able to exit Sweet On You right back into cabanas. All right, we're back outside on the main pool deck here, deck number 11, and we are heading forward. I want to point out that they do have these little kind of bathing pools, little wading pools with the little bubble fountains there, and it goes right up to the side of the ship, right up to the glass there, so you can enjoy that and enjoy the views as you swim, dip. And here's a look at one of the beverage stations, coffee, standard and decaf. They do have hot milk there that can come out, honey and tea, all the accoutrement, hot chocolate packets up there, creamer, and then some more coffee. Now on the other side, this is going to be your soda station featuring the Coke products. Coke, Diet Coke, Fuse Iced Tea, water, ginger ale, Minute Maid Light Lemonade, Sprite, and again another Coke. They'll also have soda water and just standard tap water here as well. You can grab the cups. Now be sure to check on both sides. I know, for example, this side has ginger ale over here on the starboard side, but on the port side, I think it's actually vitamin water, so that one does switch out. And there is Donald's pool, that pool forward I was talking about. Right under funnel vision there, we do see the main stage area that will again be used for those special activities and entertainment that they're putting on, the sail away party, pirate party, whatever it is. Over here they do have a like a setup bar area where you can order specialty drinks and souvenir cups. And then past that we will find Flo's V8 Cafe. Now this is a casualty dining spot. It's a quick serve area, so you can come up to all these areas that are themed after the different Cars sections, like Luigi's Pizza, where you can get some pizza. You can go to Tomater's Grill, where you can get burgers and dogs and chicken sandwiches, chicken tenders and fries. And then over at Fillmore's Favorites, they have a little bit of healthier options. Salad, fruit, sandwiches, things like that. Now Fillmore's closes a bit earlier, usually around 6 o'clock or so. The other two will stay late, open late. Tomater's Grill, I think, usually until around 11, and then Luigi's Pizza until around midnight. And all of these are included with your cruise fare. And they do have a toppings bar here that you can help yourself to, as well as all of the condiments that are available. Now just before Flo's V8 Cafe, there's this little hallway tunnel area where you can cross in between. You're actually going to go inside, and there's a little store in here. And that store is Who's It's and What's It's. Now, I wouldn't say they have them galore because it is a smaller shop, but this is going to be kind of like little fun in the sun items, sunscreen, aloe vera. They have water shoes, Crocs, little pool toys, towels. They do have some bags and shirts, swim shirts, things like that you can purchase when the shop is open. And then you can exit the little hallway tunnel here back over on the other side, and this is where you will find ice cream, themed after Mike Wazowski. And this is the soft serve ice cream station that is included with your cruise fare, and you actually help yourself to it. And they will rotate and change out flavors throughout your cruise, so be sure to check in on those and see what they have that day. Now next to that, we will find the Frozone area, and this area is serving up incredible smoothies as well as some alcoholic drinks. These do come at an additional cost. They are not open right now, but this is where you would get those and pay for them. You can get all those different smoothies and alcoholic drinks, and they also have Dole Whips here, so make sure you come and grab your Dole Whip here at the Frozone area. Honey, where is my Dole Whip soup? Now as we proceed forward here, either on the port or the starboard side, you'll see the sign says this area is reserved for guests 18 and older. We are entering the Quiet Cove area, which is the adults only area on board. So they have comfortable lounge chairs, they'll have hot tubs, and in the middle they'll have the Quiet Cove pool area where you can relax in there. They have built-in seating, they have a shallower area, and it's even a bit of a swim up bar. You don't really swim, you kind of just wade up to it because it's very shallow yellow right there, but you can actually put your feet in the water, sit on a stool, and get your drinks from the bar. Now the seating is available on both sides, port or starboard, and then here centrally located, we will find the entrance to the Cove Cafe. And this is where you'll come for specialty coffee drinks and other drinks as well. They do serve alcoholic drinks here in addition. And they also have some pastries available that they can serve up to you. And the area is decorated and themed after Walt Disney and Lillian Disney and all of their travels around the world. So really nice spot to come and relax or grab a nice drink. All right, checking back in on our map because that was a lot to take in there. Let's get reoriented. So we started at the back and we saw Cabanas, the buffet area, the Sweet on You, ice cream, Nemo's Reef splash area, Mickey's Pool, Donald's Pool, Mickey Slide there. Over on the side, the Who's It's and What's It store, the ice cream, the Frozone Smoothies area, Flo's Cafe serving up the quick serve food, and then the Cove Cafe coffee bar, the Quiet Cove Pool adults only area. Now as we head forward here on deck 11, if you come over to the port side, you will see this is the entrance to the concierge staterooms, and it is for the concierge guests. But over on the starboard side, we will find the entrance to Senses Spa and Salon. So if you're coming to have a spa treatment done, this is where you'll come. You'll check in there at the desk, and they also have a little juice bar area tucked around here in the back with the floor-to-ceiling windows, so you can get fresh squeezed juices or smoothies or things like that. They also have a beauty salon and barber shop on board. You can get those hair treatments, nail treatments done, and then they also sell all kinds of merchandise. Now past the check-in desk, you will find the entrance to the fitness center. So you can come in here. Now this is reserved for guests ages 18 and up. If you're between 14 to 17, you may enter the fitness center when accompanied by an adult or guardian. So it's not the biggest fitness center in the world, but they do have treadmills, ellipticals, a row machine, resistance machines, some free weights, yoga mats, scales, things like that. And you will have the floor-to-ceiling windows that you can look out while you're exercising. Now past that is where you'll actually go for all of your different treatments, the changing rooms, the restrooms, and the relaxation room and rainforest thermal suite area. And if you're interested in seeing the rainforest thermal area, we actually were able to do a private experience with that. Back during COVID, they were doing it set up like that. So Chelsy and I had the whole area to ourselves. So please be sure to go and check out that video on our channel. We'll link it in the description as well, so you can see what that whole area is like. Now you will now be sharing it with other people, but it'll at least give you an idea of what the whole area is and what it has to offer. And with that covered, we are finished with deck 11 and going up to 12. Deck number 12 now, and we begin in the forward area. So what we're going to see up here is more of the concierge staterooms, but as we turn here, we'll actually find the entrance to the concierge lounge. So if you are staying in a concierge level room, you will have access to this lounge, and we can kind of see inside here through the glass. It's a little bit tough. There we go. So they have a specialty coffee machine in there. They'll have snacks available throughout the day, different drinks, like they'll have some soda you can grab. You can relax in there and do some activities. Now besides the staterooms and the concierge lounge, you'll also find the upper level to the spa, but you would only be accessing that if you were utilizing it. You were having a spa treatment done, and the staff would escort you there from the deck down below. So now we're going to turn and head midship/aft. We're going to be heading back outside. So now this is going to kind of become our sun deck. We will find sun loungers all throughout, as well as comfortable seating through various parts of this deck. And just in front of the forward funnel there, we will find Funnel Puddle, which is just a small little wading pool area with a nice little fountain bubbler there. And as we proceed back, we see they have the lounge chairs stacked up right now, but a lot of times they will put them out so you can enjoy them. Otherwise, there's just kind of an open air walking deck, a great spot to come up and get unrestricted views of the port you're in, or if you're sailing out at sea. And a little tip for anyone who is sailing in the Bahamas or Caribbean where you're going to have a pirate night, or even on a special sailing where they're doing any kind of fireworks. The fireworks are typically shot off of the starboard side. So they're going to be in the sky of the starboard side here. So we do recommend coming up to deck 12 and kind of hanging over to this side if you want unrestricted views of the fireworks. Now, if you want to see the stage entertainment or the video board entertainment, then maybe you kind of want to stick to the inside and then just turn to see the fireworks, because you'll be able to see them above everyone else. But if you're down on deck 11, sometimes this upper deck and even the aqueduct slide, which we're going to get to in a second, can obstruct your views of the fireworks. Speaking of the aqueduct, that is what this very long line is for. It looks like they might have just opened up though. So there we go, we see the sign Aqueduct, and this is the water coaster on board. It is so much fun. You're going to start up there in the rear funnel, shoot you out. You're going to actually go out over the side of the ship through the clear tube there, over the water or over the port down below you, wherever the ship is located at that time. It is completely clear, as you can see, so you will be able to see out and a little bit down there. Then you'll start the dips and the trips and the flips, and well, maybe not flips, but then it's also clear tubing throughout most of the rest of the side. You will go through the forward funnel and then coming back around on the starboard side through the clear tubing. So you'll get a great view. You can see a raft going through over there right now. So you get a great view as you slide, and you get to enjoy all the fun of the water coaster. This is included with your cruise fare, and it is a must-do feature of the Disney Fantasy and her sister, the Disney Dream. And the Aqua Mouse on the Disney Wish, which is kind of the same thing, but those in some Mickey shorts fun. Now, you're not permitted to take loose articles with you on the Aqueduct, so they do provide these cubbies here that you can store your items in. Actually, the line just quickly cleared out. They were giving out wristbands to indicate the height requirements. As you can see, 54 inches to ride by yourself, 42 inches to ride with an adult. So you can see they'll post the expected wait time right there, and then all of the other requirements for riding. Now, if you're interested in filming your own ride on the Aqueduct, they have typically been okay with us using a GoPro on a wrist strap, but nothing else. They don't want you taking your cell phones or anything like that on there. Now, just behind the Aqueduct featuring Donald, it'd only be appropriate to have his nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, here at the Aqua Lab. Now, this is an area that was added for the Disney Fantasy. It's not available on the sister ship Disney Dream, but this is a splash play area. All kinds of water going on here. Water fountains, water sprayers, water jets. It is all kinds of places to get wet and have fun. Probably mostly intended for children, but come in as an adult and cool off. Why not? And have some fun. There's also bench seating here if you want to watch the little ones play. Now, just past the Aqua Lab, I'm over here on the port side. You can see the stairwell heads up there to the sports court. We'll get to that in a bit. But here's the sign saying Waves, Waves, Waves Bar. It's kind of just tucked up here on the side, so a lot of people would miss it, so they put all those signs down there to help you know it's currently closed, but this is a spot where you could come and get a drink if they are actually open at that point in time. Otherwise, it just kind of dead ends here. Could be a nice spot to take in a sail away, though. Now, over here on the starboard side, you can also access the Aqua Lab. It just continues on around right through the middle, and then you'll find more of the same. There's no bar over here, just restrooms, but then it kind of dead ends. Again, a good place to take in a sail away. That's what I did the other day. And both spots here, both sides, it kind of dead ends, and then it's a stairwell up. So if you want to access the sports court, this is probably the place to do it. So we're just going to kind of transition here, deck number 12 to deck 13. So once we're up here, we will find Goofy Sports Court. Now, this is mostly a basketball court. You see how they have the rims there on either side and one in the middle. Sometimes they will set up soccer nets. Might have a little soccer action here. And it actually says operating hours, which is funny. I think it would just be kind of whenever throughout the day, but nope, they take the equipment away and only put it out at certain times. So this is where you'll come for all that action. Now, just past the sports court here, over on the starboard side, you will find the entrance to Goofy's Golf, as well as the rules for Goofy Sports Deck in general. But Goofy's Golf is going to be the mini golf on board, and it is included with your cruise fare, so you can grab your golf balls there and your putter clubs, and then proceed forward through the 9-hole mini golf course. And it's set up with all kinds of Disney whimsy, all the little obstacles and things like that. And what I really like too is it's Goofy's Golf, but they actually feature Max here, Goofy's son. So if you want like kind of the harder challenge of the mini golf, you putt from the Goofy footprints. If you want a little bit easier route, you putt from the Max footprints, and they will give a breakdown of each hole. And I think it's cool how to play golf. That was an old Goofy short, so it's cool that they themed it after that. They also have some foosball tables back here, as well as a ping pong table, and it's a great spot to come all the way here on the back of the ship and take in the wake views while you're sailing. So the 9 holes of mini golf fun continues all the way around the back, and then back over here on the port side is the final hole. You'll also find the entrance to Goofy Sports Simulators here. Now, this is a paid additional cost here that you can experience if you would like. They have the hours of operation posted right there, but it's typically a golf simulator. They do offer other simulators too, I believe. You can just come inside and speak to someone to get assistance with that. All right, I'm now going to show you one of my least favorite transitional areas of the Disney Fantasy. I love when ships have great flow. Typically, the Disney Fantasy does a great job with it. There's one area that I don't like, and it takes place right here. If you remember back on deck 12, I said starboard side or port side, it kind of dead ends, and you kind of either have to come up the stairs to get up here to the sports court, or you have to turn around. So once we're up here on deck 13, if we come back over here to the starboard side at the beginning of the Goofy's Golf area, right across from the first hole, we see this door that looks like it's just going to take you inside to some restrooms. But if you go inside, there are those restrooms, but then you can actually open up this door, and this will take you inside at deck 13 here, the deck 13 aft elevators, which you can see there are not nearly as many. There's only 2 available here. So there's actually not really anything to see in this area. In fact, if we check our map here for deck 13, we see that these are the only things listed on the back: the sports deck, Goofy's Golf, and the sports simulators. What we're actually going to do is head back down to deck 12. And once we're here on deck 12, we can turn and we see the theming is completely different. We have the darker colors, the more regal colors, the carpet's different, and the elevators are different. Everything looks different because we are entering the specialty dining area, the adults only dining. So as we come in, we have our check-in desk right in the center, and then we can go around that and we can actually enter Meridian, which is a bar themed after travel. You can see like the suitcase style pillows there. They have the bar along the back side with the windows looking out, and there's actually even an outdoor section. You can go outside and enjoy that if you would like. Now if we turn to the right, and it's over on the port side, we will find the entrance to Remy. This is of course adults only, specialty dining, coming at an additional cost, and it is quite a high cost, but it is one of the most extravagant meals you can ever have, especially at sea. This is going to be a fantastic experience. We highly recommend this for special occasions, and as the name would suggest, it is themed after Ratatouille, and Remy, you'll find him scattered throughout and hidden in various places. Now Remy is typically available for dinner, and they usually will offer some dessert parties in there as well. Now over on the left, the starboard side, since we're looking aft, we will find Paolo, and this is the specialty dining additional cost for adults only Italian restaurant, offering dinner as well, and then brunch on sea days, as well as typically days when you are docked in Nassau. And you'll actually be able to find the menus, of course, on the Disney Cruise Line app, but you can also check them here on the digital display boards for Paolo on this side and Remy on the other side. And this will kind of show why I find this area so difficult to navigate, because as we look around, you have the stairwells there, you have restrooms on the side, elevators, and then it goes into the restaurant spot. So there's no real way to get here except via the stairs or the elevator. It's kind of just landing in this area. You can't really transverse the rest of the deck and go back outside, so it's a little bit difficult to find. The best suggestion I can make is if you're coming to dine at Paolo or Remy or enjoy the Meridian bar, whatever deck you're on, just go to the aft elevators and stairs and then head up, or down, I guess, if you're up at the sports deck from there, and that will let you arrive here on deck 12. And now that we have covered the adults area, the Aqualab, the Aqueduct, Funnel Vision, the upper deck, and the spa upper level concierge lounge, we are done with deck 12, and we've already seen part of deck 13. That was just the outside Goofy sports deck, but we have a couple of things to see at the midship and forward area, so I'm gonna head over there right now. All right, back outside on deck 12 now. We're going to go inside of our forward funnel here, and that drops us off at the midship elevators and stairs for deck 12. If we turn and look over here to the starboard side, we'll see this sign that says Edge. Edge is the Tweens Club on board, so if you actually come through here, head up the stairs, you'll access that from there. Now, just the same, we had an open house, so we'll put that footage in right now. So up a couple flight of stairs, we'll find the sign for Edge and the video board here displaying the hours of operation and the activities coming up. And then as we come inside, we'll see they have the video boards there playing movies, they have video games, a couple of board games, arts and crafts, foosball table, big dance floor over here in the middle, comfortable seating around on the perimeters. They have some board games and activities that can be grabbed here. Nintendo Switch set up on the big screen for Mario Kart. And then you have floor-to-ceiling windows looking back out at the pool deck and outside the show. Now just outside of Edge, you can actually continue up the stairwell here. And there's a little spot up at the top that I've never seen anything going on in. I think they reserve it for special occasions or events, private functions. Well, first you'll see the sign that says Radio Studio, and apparently this is where they just broadcast all the music throughout the ship from. There's also some restrooms up here. So that area there that said private function is called Outlook, and I was right. That is what they use it for, is private functions. They'll have a lot of wedding ceremonies up there, and they'll also use it as a filming location, like when they broadcast the morning show over the ship's TV, that is where they will film that. So they have it set up right now, so I can't film inside there, but it's just a small venue. They have plenty of seating, a piano set over to the side, floor-to-ceiling windows, all that good stuff. Okay, checking back in on our map for deck 12 here so I can help explain what's going on at deck 13. So basically the best way to think of it is you cannot transverse deck 13 because it's split into the different sections there. So you have to go up the elevators or stairs at that appropriate section to get to those items. So on deck 13 aft, it was Goofy Sports Deck. Deck 13 here in the midship, we have the Edge Tweens Club, and then the Outlook for the private wedding ceremonies or whatever. It's not really too much of a public space there. So now we have deck 13 stuff in the forward, but again, we're gonna have to walk across here on 12 and then go up. Check that out. Deck 13 forward, we're gonna head outside here and check out a few items. As we look back towards midship, we'll see that we're on the upper deck of the Quiet Cove area, so this is for adults only, and there is a smoking section here on the port side forward. And as we make our way forward here, we'll continue to find sun loungers throughout, and behind this colored glass is actually the concierge pool deck area. So this is for concierge guests. If you're staying in a concierge room, they'll have a special area with some really comfortable lounge chairs set up, comfortable seating there. Looks like they have that spread throughout, and actually just go up over the top here. There you go. There's the concierge lounge sun deck area. And as we arrive all the way forward here, we find ourselves at the Satellite Falls pool area, again reserved for guests 18 years and older, and it's just under one of the satellites there. They have the waterfall cascading down into the shallow pool, so you can enjoy that. Sun loungers throughout, and you can actually come around here and go around the glass and get to the very forward part of the ship, where it will be completely open air. So as you're sailing, you will get those huge winds and breezes hitting you right in the face as you watch your way sailing. You can actually look down at the outdoor area for Vibe down there. The teens area that we saw earlier is available, and you can look out and see where you're going. Now back here centrally located, I want to point out that you do have additional seating around on the starboard side, and here in the middle is the Current bar, which is currently closed, but when it's open it'll be right there so you can grab some drinks. Well, there you have it, friends. That is our tour of the Disney Fantasy. We hope you enjoyed that, found it informational, useful, helpful, and fun as you get ready to plan your own Disney cruise. And hey, if you'd like some assistance with that, we are travel agents. We are authorized Disney sellers. We work directly with Disney Cruise Line, and our services are completely free to you. We never charge any fees or costs whatsoever. You will never pay a single cent more to book with us than you would direct on your own, so please feel free to reach out via the travel agent information you can find in the description of this video. Even if you've recently booked your Disney Cruise Line cruise, you may be able to transfer it to our agency. That's also free of charge, and then we'll be able to assist you the rest of the way. So either way, we hope we'll hear from you soon. Once again, I'll encourage you to check out the full playlist of our Lookout Key sailing so that you can see all of our daily videos and that tour of Lookout Key in complete, all the public areas that you can find at that new private destination. But with that said, we are signing off for today. We will see you next time. Happy travels!